Thanks, you guys. We're back, and we've got Cameron Kaseberg with us today. And Cameron, there was a kind of a pivotal point in your career. I mean, I had mentioned before we went to the break that you relocated. You're actually not living right here in the Gorge, although your family is still here. You're here frequently. But you had attended a art show in Bend, and that sort of got the ball rolling.
It certainly got the art festival ball rolling. I had been showing in some galleries and looking for more galleries, and I ran across a call for artists for art in the high desert, which was at that time the first year for this art festival in Bend on the banks of the Deschutes. And I thought,
why not?
Why not? I'm getting out of the box. I'm, trying new things. So.
And you had never had any of your work actually on display that was, because it was judged and everything there, right?
Well, I had been in some galleries and, shown in restaurants and, done that stuff. And I had been in a juried show before at Maryhill many years ago.
Okay.
But this was totally different. And I said, what the heck? And I applied and I got in, and which meant I had to come up with my 10 by 10 retail space, a tent, and a way to hang all the artwork and signage. I had to become a little traveling 10 by 10 retail store basically for my artwork.
So the Wheat Acres days probably helped with that.
Absolutely.
Knowing how to kind of get things all set up. And
my time at Wheat Acres helped. My education at Portland State and applied design, which is three-dimensional design, helped create that. Work on the Sherman County Museum actually played a large part in it because I pulled some of that stuff and worked it into the booth to make it all come together.
Mm-hmm. And so from that show, what happened next?
Well, at that show, I pretty much had a grin pasted on my face for 3 days.
Because you did pretty well at the show, right?
I had a fantastic time, and I won a benchmark award, one of 5 artists out of 110 or so, I think, that exhibited. So I really got fired up over that. Probably couldn't wipe the grin off my face for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So I immediately started looking at other festivals and seeing what I could do. So that launched me onto the next journey, which was traveling. Well, first of all, applying to all these other festivals, and then jumping up and down when I started getting into them. Scottsdale was the Scottsdale Arts Festival in Arizona was one of the first that I got into afterwards, and I think it's ranked in the top 10 in the country of art festivals.
Really?
So I was pretty excited about that, and
Feeling
I thought
pretty good about yourself at this point.
There's confidence building. Yeah. So I started lining up other shows. My plan was to jump from show to show through the Southwest at that point. So I got into a couple more and spent several weeks on the road.
And
festivals.
Was that part of the like Bellevue to San Antonio kind of a thing?
No, that's kind of mixed together. This trip I went to Palm Springs, spent a few days in Palm Springs hanging out, and then hit Scottsdale for the Arts Festival, which was an absolutely fantastic experience.
Yeah.
The next show was in San Antonio, but I had a couple weeks, so I went to Santa Fe and hung out there with my old college design professor.
Cool.
And then headed to to San Antonio.
Okay.
Which was an amazing show. It was down on the Riverwalk and in a beautiful setting, and they like art there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and then I learned this actually through your Facebook that you had injured or broke your foot just prior to one of your most successful shows to date.
Yeah, we have to be careful what we put on Facebook.
Yeah. So what happened?
That was in this last January, my first show this year. I spend quite a couple weeks getting ready, making sure all the artwork's ready and everything, and then it's the last 12 hours where I'm packing up the truck and loading everything, and it was in the middle of the day, mid-afternoon, and I was hauling some boxes out, and I kind of skied down the stairs and broke my foot, and I had never broken a bone before, so I really didn't know what I did. So I put ice on it and sat there and watched TV for a little bit, and
When did you
went back to loading the truck and finished loading the truck. And
when did you discover it was broken?
Later that night, when I was convinced that it wasn't actually getting better, and so went to the emergency room.
And how long was this before you actually had this huge show?
The night before.
The night before.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I had to drive from Redmond to Indio, California. So luckily I had a co-pilot who drove, and
yeah.
I had my boot on, and I got lots of attention for my boot at the festival.
Yeah.
So.
And you didn't only get a lot of attention at the festival from people looking at your broken foot, but from people in Sherman County and the Columbia Gorge that were there.
Yeah, it was amazing the number of people that came by my little retail space from here. It was fun. My high school art teacher came by. Landlord from Wheat Acres Irrigation was there. Friends from here. It was.
And you did really well there.
It was a great show.
That's awesome.
It was really fun.
Well, I want to talk to you about your artwork, actually how you do it, and because it's unique, and especially I'm a little bit biased maybe, but I definitely like the crows, the stuff you do with crows and stuff. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Cameron Kaseberg's art when we return, right here on Localite.